Alright guys, we're back. So, during the downtime, I've been doing missions. Let's look at a quick overview of progress here. I've successfully managed to piss off every single criminal faction in the Liberty sector just by doing missions. I've been flying around, exploring. I'll show you that in a minute. You know, before I upgraded my ship, I was basically third-partying these guys so I could loot them, and because they were dropping like class 5 weapons and shit, and I was tractor beaming them up. This one right here, the Nomad Cult, this was a faction that was added by the Shadow Worlds mod. I know this is kind of a break, you know, in the single-player campaign, because this is supposed to a lot of the server events happened after the single-player campaign, and the Nomad cults were basically a bunch of humans that didn't think the Nomads were half bad, and they were kind of, you know, the mystique around these aliens or whatever, so they kind of worshipped them or whatnot. And if you read here, you know, they were friendly to the Nomads, they're hostile to Order, obviously. And per the info card here, it says the dreaded Nomad cultists are an enigma to all colonies. So far, the communication attempts have been met with outright open hostility and outright malice. Yeah, so yeah, they kept attacking me. They were like, most of the time they were in Rheinland vessels, and they weren't too bad at the start until, you know, some of the aces, you know, they could almost insta-gib you with a burst until I upgraded. So review the rest of them. Just because I've been killing the Nomad cult, apparently the Xenos like me, which I'm not a fan of. You know, I never liked the Xenos. Anybody who's who's opposed to any trader interaction with foreign entities really don't have any use for. Whereas, you know, the Junkers, I kind of feel sorry for those. These guys kind of got the shitty end of the stick, you know, from the lore perspective. You know, the itinerant population of unknown origin who comb debris fields looking for scrap and equipment. You know, there's basically poor people out in the middle of the fields just trying to scrap by. You know, they're labeled as criminals, and hey, just like real life, you know. So, you shit on the poor people. Yeah, so life pro tip: don't be poor, and yeah, you want to be successful in life? Be born with a silver spoon. Be born to the right parents. But everybody else likes me, so all right. So let's look at equipment here. So all these guns here I've looted off, mainly off the Liberty Rogues. Yes, off Liberty Rogues. This is pretty much the ideal setup. You know, 700 range, 800 projectile speed. I like the quick speed. On the effects of the weapons, I never really liked it. In a lot of the effects in Freelancer, they had like these long weapon trails, long projectile trails, so to speak, and I never really liked that. And but these have relatively short, and I kind of like that. I think it looks cleaner. I know it was the art style of the game, and you know, in the modding community, we were never really good at least when I was doing it. We were never really good at modifying the effects. I think the guy who was the best at it really when I was doing it was he was on the leading edge, was Friendly Fire, and yeah, so yeah, we talking about Friendly Fire. We ended up merging with him and Cheese on Toast. So, you know, we were just Shattered Worlds, and then became Shattered Worlds War Torn. And you know, looking back now, I didn't realize it then, but I don't think they were able to really realize their vision from the merger. I really kind of wish that I was able to have more, maybe stop and maybe have more discussions with him and Cheese on Toast, say, hey, you know, what do you guys want from this merger? And maybe bring their ideas more to the table and push it more to the front. Because, dude, they were talented, man. And Friendly Fire, he was in school at the moment. I think she's on Toast too. They're both. I think they're both computer science majors. She's on Toast is from UK. Friendly Fire is from Canada, I believe. Nice dudes and talented. And you know, I think Friendly Fire is still somewhat involved in the modding community. I've seen some posts from him maybe a couple of years ago. I know he's done amazing work in the Sushi's Free Worlds. It's like a Star Wars mod, and he's done stuff where like he's hooking into the Freelancer engine and implementing his own renderer like into the game engine, because right now with in Freelancer, you know, I'm not educated on this by any means, but you know, we don't have normal maps or anything else in this. It's just a basic texture that's applied and to these models and stuff, and he's implemented dynamic lighting and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty incredible. And he's done a lot of stuff with FL Hook. You know, that's you know, server side hooking, and yeah, I really wish you know, I mean, hindsight's 2020, and I really wish I had discussed with him more and actually captured his what his vision was, and we had made that more of a priority rather than just trying to get content implemented, and maybe I should have pulled away from more of the server side day-to-day stuff and left that to the admin guys that were already doing a bang-up job as far as policing the server and are involved in role play. But yeah, so yeah, back to I went on a tangent there, but I did say I wanted to have some mod commentary on it, so there you go. So I've upgraded the ship. Yeah, we're not best in class. Oh yeah, and all these weapons right here, every single weapon in the game outside of like the codename weapons and the special weapons are all balanced off the same formula, and the parameters are based off, hey, what was the range, what was the projectile speed, and there's a certain established damage per second, and based upon weapon class, and all that stuff is input into a spreadsheet, and each faction got like, hey, you know, if this faction preferred a lower, we said, okay, this faction prefers this sort of refire weapon. So like, for instance, I'm just going to take a example here, like the Hessians. Let's just say we designated them as having a 2 refire weapon and a 6 refire weapon. So in the spreadsheet, we generate 2 names from class 1 through 6 with refire 2, and then another name class weapon 1 through 6 with refire 6. And they, of course, they'd have their own effect, their projectile type, their flash effect, their impact effect, and everything else assigned. And, you know, when it spit out a hull and shield damage and energy usage. And based upon the weapon type, you know, we have different weapons. There's some were plasma, tachyon, laser, and they were, you know, who their main enemy was and what their shield was used. We would tailor that weapon type according to who their main enemy was, and you know, that was what that weapon was most effective against. So like right here it says this weapon is most effective against positron shields and weakest against graviton shields. So I would assume that their enemy right there, main enemy, used positron shields. So yeah. Now, I don't know what this is. Maybe we did add something later on, but yeah, I remember spending quite a bit of time on that, trying to figure out the formula. What do we want on the balancing for the weapons? Oh, I did want to go back to these icons real quick. These icons, we were a mod, so we didn't give a shit about copyright stuff. So you'll notice some of these icons may look vaguely familiar to old games. and you know, we didn't, you know, we were all amateurs, and um, so we didn't have a lot of our artistic talent on our team, I guess. Well, we did, but they were, you know, they had real life and all these other obligations with their families and whatnot, and jobs, and so like some of these were taken from other games. Like for instance, like I think we took something from the Origin Systems games, like the what was that, like I forgot, like a Privateer. I think you may see one or two EVE Online games, and I think we try to modify so they all fit. They look somewhat like the same art style, and try to put it in the same gradient background in Photoshop. We had made the little template and whatnot. So I guess the main deciding factor is, does it look like it fits? But I think the team did a good job. If it was a new item, I think Daedalus, he did a lot of the info card writing. So did Dig Dug. There's a number of people who did writing on this. I know I'm missing out people, and I apologize if I'm missing people. But before I jump out of this mod commentary here, and get further on with the mission, I want to make some comment on this. Let's look here. So, oh yeah, so this is actually the first ship I ever modeled and created. So we had really basic tools. This Milk Shape 3D, I think, was a program. It's awful, freaking awful. And this this ship is actually it does look like crap. But right now with this model, this is a base model of this ship, I believe. But I think the design that we took is like, okay, this is combat interceptor. So I think the next line up has like the wings on it, and looks a lot better than this model. And I believe like the fighters had the wings, which added additional hard points, and was better power plant and everything else. That's how a lot of the shits are. It has more bits and doodads added to it, but it still kept the same design look, I guess, more or less. But yeah, this is my first attempt at texturing, so I knew nothing about UV mapping and anything else. And yeah. I wish I could spin it in this view right here, but wow. Alright, so back to game progress. So we are supposed to meet Juni at the bar for our next mission. We had let me see here. Yeah, we're supposed to meet Juni at the bar for our next mission. We went with King and we captured Ashcroft, I believe. Yep, we surprised Ashcroft and dropped him off. And okay, so off we go. Right now I'm at Newark Station, so there's a short hop across. So let's get to it. You can see I did quite a bit of exploring. I was limited to just the New York system. I mean the New York's Liberty sector, so I couldn't jump outside of the New York sector. You can see I made my rounds, just looking around for fights and whatnot. Did a bit of exploring. Found some wrecks. I forgot totally about the wreck.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is
So it's basically an abandoned ship laying out there in the debris field. So off to Manhattan we go.
Acknowledged. Your request to dock is granted. Proceed to dock 1.
Don't move. Just listen.
Where have
Stay
you...
still. I had to kill a man to escape today. What's one more? Why are you still here? Don't you see what's going on? Freeport 7? Zone 21?
Yeah, the order.
No! It's not just them, it's Liberty. The artifacts. They're after something.
Look, let's just talk about this.
No more talking. I know what I'm doing now. I have a plan. I wanted to warn you. I felt I owed it to you. Don't try and follow me, Trent. Get out of Liberty while you still can.
What the...
Nice to see you again. How are things?
Interesting. I'm looking for Junko Zane. Have you seen her lately?
Yeah. She asked me to tell you to meet her on the terraforming station on California Minor.
Anything else?
Nope. That was all. Drink, Mr. Trent?
No, thanks. I better get going.
Not unless it's free, buddy. Alright, so... guess she could have called me on the communicator and told me.
Freeport's...
Alright, just change the volume settings a little bit. Oh yeah, hey, this ship right here, it's kind of a little side story here on the upgrade. So, I think I wrote the info card for this, and I'm not a writer, but some of these, yeah, I'm not that creative, and Tyler Addison, that was an engineer I was working with, and Rusty Sims was a dude that was in maintenance that I worked with. I think he ended up moving to Las Vegas. I just seen that. The NU dev team, I think it was the old Frostworks Level 2 New Universe dev team. I think they were before the Asgard server, and I know some of you Asgard guys, you'll remember a lot of notable clans there, RAF, APOC, of course the Outcasts. I can't forget that, Corpse and his Outcast. I hope Corpse sees this video. The Cutthroat Pirates, that was the clan I was in. Yeah, so the good clans, Ronin, Bubba, Fife. So yeah. But yeah, there's quite a few ships from there. And then that New Universe dev team, I just want to give a shout out to, Gav Thompson, I think Moonwalking Mike, Hobbs. Hobbs is a long time. I think he ended up being one of our admin on the Shadow World server. Rifferman, Deus Ex Malice, Executioner DE, Colin Sandby. I think Colin was around in the modding community for a bit, even while Shadow Worlds was going on. If not, I remember using his tools, I believe. But anyhow, this is all from decade-long memory, so I apologize if I forget anything. Oh.
Trent, I'm sorry I couldn't meet you as planned.
Oh, junkers.
I'm on assignment in California.
You don't want to ignore the junkers, because I feel sorry for them.
Let's just say Ashcroft provided us with the information we hoped for. Meet me on California Minor as soon as you can.
I'll think about it.
I need you on this one, Trent. I'll be waiting for you.
Going to Cali, baby. How's that song go? Is it the Cali weed? So in the, I've forgotten a lot of the Shadowworld, I mean, a lot of the Asgard factions, but I'll speak to the Shadowworlds. Probably mix up a lot of Asgard, but the Liberty Sector, I think one of the most notable factions in the Liberty Sector was I like Caps and the organization. I like Caps was a guy that was out of the army. He came from he was left Iraq and then became a civilian, and a very charismatic dude. And I guess he got to start by loaning people money for their traders, and I guess picking a cut they would owe him money at like a 30% fee or whatever. It worked out for everybody. Ended up he created this whole organization. It was pretty crazy.
I was with you on Freeport 7. We met on the rescue ship. Something's going on. I'm being followed. Other survivors from Freeport have disappeared. Please meet me on Los Angeles. Damn it. Brandon Rowland, you are under arrest. Cut your engines and stand down. All units, fire missiles.
Yeah, you're not getting away, Rhino. Sorry, bud.
Civilian ship, this was a classified Navy operation. Do yourself a favor and keep this quiet.
Yeah, that's kind of reminiscent of the DHS there. Yeah, so I like Caps. His RP was on point. He ended up being like the Godfather, man. It was pretty cool. I hope he's doing well. I think he has a kid or two, married, and I think he's a historian or a guide at a museum and stuff, doing exactly what he wanted to do. He was like a big history buff and whatnot. Super smart dude. Of course, you can't forget the marshals, Jade, General D. I think Soundwave was... Man, I'm mixing up. I don't know what faction Soundwave was in. I forgot.
I have you on my scanners. Glad you're here. You're just in time. Just land and I'll tell you everything you need to know. I'll wait for you in the bar. Juni out.
Do you all remember the guy on Asgard, and I think it started Shadow Worlds? His name was Jar Jar, and he always talked... He never broke character, and he always talked like Jar Jar Binks. He's like, Misa this, Misa that, and he was an interesting character. His whole roleplay was built up around him being Jar Jar. Ridiculous. You see the cult are an issue here. These encounters. Their ships are so durable. And coupled with my power plant issues. Alright, back on point.
Understood. Your request to dock is granted. Proceed to dock 1.
Alright, now to talk to Juni at the bar. I think this opens up the whole little quest chain around Willard Research Station. And, introduces the, I guess, the counter-assault by Rheinland.
Repair complete.
I was hoping we'd pick up a stealth blade off those cult ships. I'm keeping these Leviathans in reserve just in case we get the funds to upgrade to a heavy fighter with a better power plant.
Loaded into cargo hold.
I did change my charter beam to admin one because the base one that you get on the starter ship is like 500 range. You'll see like a lot of the charter beams are planet like all these ID cards, and that was based for server-side roleplay. So I think server rules required you to have an ID card that was according to whatever role play you were doing, whatever faction. Basically, all these other factions, because people would rework their reps, so they'd be friendly with everybody, and so this is kind of the way of fixing it, because the factions would scan other ships, and they'd see, hey, he has this equipment, and they would turn hostile. So they kind of fixed rep fixing or whatever, and but you know, that's fine and dandy on a multiplayer roleplay server, but given this a single player, you know, of course the admin ID, it isn't listed as contraband, so I took this. Mainly because the range on the standard one was only 500, and I got sick and tired of hearing tractor beam failure when I tried sucking things up, so that's that.
You know, if you wanted to see me, you could have picked a quieter place.
I'm trying to keep a low profile.
Well, this is low, I'll give you that.
The reason I called you here, Trent, apart from your glittering social commentary, is to have...
I love the attitude. Trent.
Finally talked. Are you interested?
Alright, we got a new mission. Escort a convoy from the Magellan Gate to the Research Station Willard. Okay, yes, it is Willard chain. The transport's carrying alien artifacts to be studied by the LSF scientists on Willard. Alright, 50,000 credits. Alright, big money.
Well, I flew all the way
Let's
out
do it.
here, didn't I?
Ashcroft's interrogation has given us a whole new perspective on the inner workings of the artifact smuggling ring. Apparently, there's someone working on the inside in Liberty. We don't know who yet. We think in the Navy, maybe even an officer. My CO has ordered a priority operation to expose this traitor. And since I need a complete outsider for this, I thought of you.
Nice. So when do I leave?
When do we leave? We're working together on this one.
Shh. Has now seriously crippled the Order by bringing down their top man. Again, the LSF reports that the actual leader of the Order, previously known only by his codename Aurelian, was shot and killed while trying to escape from Liberty into Rheinland space. In addition, Liberty officials have also just released his real name,
Sam Lonigan.
How did you know that?
I met him on Freeport 7. He was a tradesman, or at least I thought he was.
He must have been doing recon before the attack.
It wasn't before, it was during. He almost died. Doesn't make sense. He wasn't smart enough to be a terrorist, let alone lead them. He was trying to tell me something.
Sam Lonigan, also known as Aurelian, leader of the terrorist group The Order, was apprehended today at the Liberty border.
Well, whoever he was, he's dead now. Come on, Trent. We got another scumbag to ferret out.
Oh man, Lonigan got framed. You know, while I was doing missions, I noticed that a lot of these are scaled down. And I don't know if this change is made after I retired. I don't know why they reverted, or if it was reverted, but I could have swore that I've ran like level 42 missions or whatnot out of these bases. All right. Gonna knock this mission out. Alright, we're gonna meet up the convoy and escort it to Willard Station.
There you are. I'm switching to a secure channel. Time to find out if there really is a traitor behind the artifact smuggling. We'll take the trade lane to San Diego. You first, Trent. Let's go. The LSF took out a criminal hideout in Magellan, based on information I got out of Ashcroft. We found hundreds of artifacts. The convoy we're escorting is bringing them to the LSF research lab here in California. The existence of the convoy has been kept secret, and only a selected few know about its cargo and destination. If Ashcroft is telling the truth and there really is a traitor working inside the Liberty military or the LSF, this will lure him out. It's simply too good to pass up. This is Liberty Border Station, San Diego. Please identify yourself. LSF Commander Junko Zane. We're here on special assignment to escort a convoy to Research Station Willard. Acknowledged, Commander. The convoy has already left and is waiting at the Border Passage. Hold on, we're uploading a waypoint to your neural net. Got it. Thank you, San Diego. Trent, we've got to hurry. Let's go.
I didn't land at San Diego earlier.
Transport HX-17. This is Commander Zane. Sorry we're late. What's your status?
Alright, I'm in formation.
We're ready to enter the passage.
Acknowledged. Let's go.
Yeah, we're totally gonna get jumped. Totally. It's kind of funny. They have a secret base with
Transport leader.
buoys leading all the way to it.
Acknowledged. Proceeding to first buoy.
Everybody stay alert.
It's like finger quotes.
We've reached
Secret.
the first buoy.
Continue to the next buoy and keep your eyes open.
We're at the second buoy.
Proceed to the third. There's an opening in the passage and an abandoned supply depot coming up. Keep your eyes open.
Proximity alert. Scanner is picking up something.
Where? What is it?
A mine.
Damn it!
This is HX-17. We're taking heavy damage. Alert! I have multiple inbound contacts coming in from all around us. They're everywhere.
I read Welcome, Transport Leader. San Diego, we are under attack. Repeat, we are under attack and need assistance. Over. Commander Zane, this is Gamma 1 from San Diego. Gamma 1?
End it quickly, buddy.
The enemies.
Oh.
Acknowledged. Engaging.
Big Daddy's on it. Power plant issues.
Zone. Gamma Wing, take flanking positions. We're not too far away from Willard. Acknowledged.
It doesn't look like they did too bad.
This is the last section of the
See the asteroid we just passed on the right? That is one of the mineable asteroids that was implemented with Shatter Worlds. They've used the mining ship to mine it. It would,
I'm glad you shut up,
the
Gamma
mining
1.
laser
It was
would drop a
starting to
shit
look
ton
grim.
of ore.
We got here as soon as we could.
Yes! We made it!
We
Incoming
made
ships,
it!
this is Willard Station.
We're safe!
Identify yourself.
This is LSF Commander Zane. We're escorting a supply of classified materials to Willard Station.
Understood. We've been expecting you. Proceed to the station. Docking ports are currently offline. We'll have it fixed in a moment.
Thanks again. Trent, I have to land on the station and contact a few people. It's pretty obvious now that there's a mole in the Navy. I'll see you soon.
Commander Zane, you are now cleared to land. Docking ports 2 and 3 are ready for you.
Oh, I recommend you land and get yourself some equipment. We'll meet back in space in a few minutes.
Alright, okay, this is a good find right here. Okay, so it's only class 2, but that's, it's not bad. So, these are, if you're new to Freelancer, these are what we call shield busters. You'll note that the shield damage is, 1200 for a class 2 gun. If you look at the other class 2 over here, the shield damage is only, 111. And hold damage on this is crap at 40, whereas class 2 is 222, refire 4. This is mainly meant for breaking those shields down. You'll note that I turned off that first gun because I was having some serious power plant issues. I may install this on a slot up here just because of power plant issues, but I still want to be able to punch through their shield, because even at, that's a 1400 DPS, the shield, which is, I should be able to bust through most shields in 3 seconds, and here, I'm doing 249, that, it's about 1,000 points damage per second, so, yeah. Because I really want to get through the shields quickly so I can just get into the meat of the hull. I mean, I'm only using 200 energy per second on the class 2 gun, whereas on the class 5 gun, I'm using 133 times 4. So yeah. I'm just an experiment, try it out and see how it... I'd love to have a class 3 or a class 4 maybe. We'll keep that class 5. Of course I'll just keep all this other shit. I may swap to two of these. I mean, the downside of it is because the projectile speed doesn't match the 800s, but it is what it is. Ideally, you want all your projectile speeds to match. That made 60,000 off missiles.
Loaded into cargo hold.
I need to be level 6. I'd like to get upgrade that thruster. I've noticed, man, I'm really sucking ass at fighting in this game. I mean, used to be pretty damn good at PvP or at this game. I just suck. I don't think it's like riding a bike. I don't see anything new that was added here in the mod. Let's look at the ship, see anything else was added to the mod. Built by DFM Engineering, Doc Fugly Mark. So Doc Fugly Mark was, I mean, he's a core contributor to the Asgard mod that was created by Tooth. And that was really where I got my first real start in seriously playing Freelancer. God damn, I forgot. I played on a vanilla server as a PvP server. I forgot the name of it before I went to this Asgard server, and a lot of people hated me when I first got there. But Doc Fugly Mark and Tooth were admin on there. Of course, Tooth was the founder of Asgard, and after Asgard shut down, you know, Doc allowed us to use his assets and whatnot. You'll see a lot of the ships in the mod were taken from Asgard, and we got permission from Doc to use his assets. So, good shout out to him, and I hope he's doing well. I don't know whatever happened to him, but we used quite a bit, and I think a lot of his ships capture the vanilla essence. You know, I mean, that looks like a vanilla ship. I think the only real difference from this and a vanilla ship is it doesn't have the animations that the vanilla ship has, or the destructible components that the vanilla ships had. And also it had like the resized SIR files, or the collision detection models that the vanilla ships had, until, you know, we came along and developed methods for creating custom collision detection model that exactly matched this model. So, yep. Alright, we're gonna meet Juni outside in space. We successfully escorted the transport Willard station. So I think the next mission is really short, so I'm gonna add it on to this episode. So I think we're just gonna make a quick run back to Cali Minor once we meet her outside space, and then I'm gonna end the episode there. So yep.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Willard Research Station. Everything's go for launch.
Trent, we have to fly back to California Minor. We'll take a shortcut this time. I'm uploading the coordinates. Let's go. Switching to a secure channel. Something's terribly wrong. I wanted to brief my CO on what happened with the convoy, but he's been ordered to Manhattan. My contacts tell me that he's actually been placed under arrest for treason. I tried to find out more, but all my friends at LSF headquarters seem to have disappeared. The only person I was able to contact was King, who's still on Pittsburgh. Hold on. Radar shows several ships on an intercept course. Wow. What are Rheinland Valkyries doing here? Attention, Rheinland vessels. This is Commander Zane of the Liberty Security Force. Please identify yourselves. Over. Rheinland vessels, please respond.
That's ominous.
Trent,
They're so quiet.
stay alert. Something's wrong here. They're opening fire. Engage.
I get hit with that. You'll pay for this. Yeah, much better. Much.
Rheinland military ships in the middle of Liberty? Why did they attack us? Do you think this had anything to do with the artifacts? I just don't get it. Rheinland. Even if there's a traitor in the Liberty military, what do Rhinelanders have to do with anything? We have to get to California Minor and talk to Walker. He's the captain of a Liberty Navy cruiser stationed here in California. He and I worked together on several operations in the past. I know we can trust him. All right, Trent, I'm going to find Walker. Meet me in the bar in a few minutes.
So, I noticed some pacing issues, and I think it's due because Vanilla, if I recall, Vanilla cruise is 300, and if I remember correctly, we modified the cruise speed to be 500, and I think it may be causing some issues right there. So, yeah. So I'm gonna go dock on Cali Minor, and in the episode, I hope that my commentary isn't distracting too much from the single player storyline. But then again, you know, this is meant to, you know, I guess mainly more for my memories or whatnot, to recall some memories about playing on the old servers and the mod development, not so much the single player campaign, like a normal Let's Play or whatnot. And so, anyhow, I appreciate you guys for you guys watching and staying with me. Anyway, pick up the next episode, meeting Juni at the bar, unless the cutscene takes me straight to the bar. We'll see here in a second. If not, I'll cut off. Yep, looks like we don't have to go straight. It doesn't take us straight to the bar. So anyhow, it's been good, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Y'all have a good day.